Well, if you just joined us, you're watching the opening ceremony of the world's longest and deepest rail tunnel under the Swiss Alps. It's officially been opened. This spectacle very much showing how...
And an impressive ceremony with a guest list that read like a meeting of the United Nations.
When you celebrate science, perhaps it's best to not get carried away. The inauguration ceremony included some, how should we put it, original choreography.
It was quite bizarre.
Aida Lami, do you associate this kind of dancing with the inauguration of a tunnel?
I don't understand
leaving
art
you
enough.
speechless.
It leaves me speechless.
I get claustrophobic just thinking about that tunnel.
All right. We're going to leave.
Where was that? That was in the tunnel?
I guess it was at
Seems-
one of the two entrances. Anyway, there you have it.
She joins us now watching the ceremony. I was just saying there, Imogen, this very enjoyable spectacle with dancers, and I presume some people that have taken part in the project as well, shows just how immensely proud the Swiss are of this tunnel for so many reasons.
And so we're going to talk about something we're looking at. Okay, so go ahead, Doc. Just start playing the audio. All right, Edward. So what are we watching right now?
Right now, we have it's a military formation of, looks like workers. They look like they're in a mining outfit, wearing blue hats, and they're marching in a military formation, almost like zombies. They're very slow.
All in orange jumpsuits here.
Not like zombies. They are marching like zombies.
Yes, they are zombies.
This is like an army of zombies, and these represent the workers that were in the tunnel.
Yes, the workers in the tunnel. And as you mentioned previously, before we started airing this, the 9 miners who died. They worked tirelessly. If you actually look at the details from this, will be in the article. 49,000 hours, 3 shifts a day for 17 years straight. Miners worked tirelessly on this portal, rather this tunnel digging deeper than...
Okay, so right now the miners, the zombie miners, let's call them zombie miners, now they ran across the stage. This is outdoors. This is the outdoor ceremony. You see the Swiss Alps in the background. And there is a huge video screen. They're showing men falling off the cliffs, off the rocks.
Right. It looked like they're constructing the tunnel, and it represents maybe people have gotten hurt and things like that during the construction period.
It's after this where it starts to get, I mean, it's already weird with the zombies. But after this part, it gets very strange because, well, let's just go ahead and tell them. The Lucifer himself appears on the screen.
After they finished the construction, the initial breaking through, for the tunnel.
All right, so now they're breaking through. This is what's important. They broke through the rock. The rock just fell away on the screen. It's what comes out of that mountain that is so freaky, because it's Lucifer that appears.
Yes.
He comes out of this mountain. I'm telling you, folks, in all the years of True News, now the zombie workers are taking their clothes off. They're taking.
Right. They're disrobing.
Okay, so is this Hillsong? What are we watching now? Is this Hillsong Church?
The Swiss version of Hillsong.
This is Hillsong Switzerland. Hillsong CERN.
We should point out it's both male and females.
Yes.
And they're disrobing. They're basically down to their underwear.
Why would Lucifer? Why would Switzerland use an image of Lucifer coming out of this tunnel, out of this mountain?
Well, there's history on this particular point of geography, and Edward can enlighten you on that.
Yeah, so there's actually above the mountain point of this, there's something called the Devil's Bridge.
Okay, and I'll just point out right now, the workers are down to their underwear. This is outdoors in front of the public. The zombie workers are now stripped down to their underwear, and it's becoming more ritualistic as we go. But go ahead, Edward, tell us the history.
Yeah, so there's this bridge above where the actual tunnel, the hardest point of the tunnel, the point where they had to dig through 73 different kinds of rock to get through. This, up until the 1100s, was unpassable. It was actually a point where Switzerland would control their invasions from the north. It was a choke point, kind of like the fiery gates, the gates of Thermopylae that are described in the Spartan 300. Now, with this, the folklore tale is that the townspeople next to this passing point, they made a deal with the devil. And this deal, essentially, they couldn't do it by themselves. So they said, "Hey, devil, will you build this bridge for us? Will you build a bridge that we get across this?" And the devil said, "I will do this, but you have to give me the soul of the first thing to cross this bridge." Now, the devil thought that it was going to be a human. The townsfolk actually tricked the devil in this folktale, and they sent a goat across. Well, when the goat crossed, the devil killed the goat. Was incredibly angry, and he picked up a very, very large rock. He was going to use this rock to throw and break the bridge, but one of the townfolk, who was a believer in Christ, drew a cross on the rock. And this rock, actually, before they started building this tunnel, was at the point, at this bridge, up until 1976, when they first began building this underground tunnel. Anyway, because she drew a cross on the rock, the devil couldn't pick it up. He couldn't move it. And at this point, the devil had to flee. So the townfolk saw the bridge as this conqueror, this triumph over the devil.
There's a group of men coming out in more traditional Swiss garb of red and white with large sticks. Now they're horns, aren't they?
Yes, and look, the devil is right there. And now the devil has emerged in the back of the formation as a goat. It's wearing a goat head, like a ram.
So wearing a goat outfit with the ram's horns and everything.
I saw him. All right, so now there's Lucifer now as a goat. And he's coming out now, and he's furious. And what are these people in the...
They seem to be like bushes, like hay.
Yeah, like these bush people. When I say bush people, I mean like people that look like bushes.
Yes. They're draped in wheat. Like it's a gold-colored wheat. Almost like swamp ghouls. And on the screen now, the video screen in the back, there's an
image of Satan up on the screen.
Ghouls.
In the video screen in the back, there's a transposed image of the devil, the goat man. And they put like a fire behind it. It looks again, look, the devil is coming out of that portal.
Right. So you got a guy, an actual person on the stage dressed as a goat who is portraying Satan.
You see the Egyptian scarabs there?
Yes.
Yeah, what are those things?
Those are Egyptian scarabs. Those are for devouring the dead.
All right, I thought, what are these beetles? They look like three big beetles.
They're Egyptian scarabs.
And there's three of them, just like there was three spirits and the three miners that got sacrificed in the beginning.
Man, Doc, I didn't know you knew so much.
I read.
I just thought they were big green beetles. Like, what is this about? But Lucifer is
So now
in
there's a
full view on the stage, and now he's turned into what?
portal of eyes now.
Yes, like all eyeballs now. That's the only thing is on the screen are eyeballs that are circulating.
And there's trumpets now playing to the left and right of the center stage where you have the devil dancing with these swamp bush people. But there's trumpets, almost about 50 trumpets lining the stage. And people are blowing them. They look like mountain trumpets, but they're gold. And as you hear right now, you hear the devil screaming as he's running around with the white-garbed spirits.
Now, the what'd you call them? Swamp ghouls.
Swamp ghouls.
That's pretty good.
Right now, it looks like Satan has captured one of these spirits or whatever, and doing unspeakable things to them.
Yes. I'm just sitting here watching this for the 4th time, and I'm still stunned.
Well,
this happened yesterday, folks.
Yes.
It happened yesterday in Switzerland. Put this together with CERN.
Yes.
What is going on in Switzerland?
That's what I thought,
What are they doing, Doc, in Switzerland? What I want people to understand is there are powerful leaders in the world, in the Western world, because I think this is really confined to the Western world. They are begging Lucifer to come out of the abyss. And I know many of you listening to me right now are saying, Rick, you're exaggerating it. You're trying to scare me.
I wish we were making this up.
This is deeply disturbing.
I'm telling you, after Hillsong, this Hillsong Church is nothing compared to this. But then I wouldn't be surprised next week Hillsong does this on their stage. But they're calling for Lucifer to come out of the abyss. Listen to me, people. Satan's church is calling for their God to come into the world. Why isn't the church of God calling for our God to come to the world? Lucifer's people are beseeching him. They're carrying out demonic rituals. They're drilling holes into the center of the earth to release him from the abyss. They want him to come onto the surface of the planet. It is called the tribulation. It's going to happen soon. And you're not going to be raptured and taken away before these things happen. This is why Jesus said, if the days were not shortened, no flesh would survive. We cannot even comprehend the depth of the wickedness that's going to be turned loose on the planet. You have any idea, Edward, what this woman is?
So I reached out to my friend on this. It's Italian, but it's babble. It's not actual words. She's singing a very old song. It's a mix between Italian and ancient Germanic.
That's what I was going to say. It's a dialect that only the Luciferians know.
And then we go back. Ancient Germanic was used during a time when Germany was conquered by paganism, by ancient animal worship and nature worship, which is what we're seeing currently on the screen. We're now seeing people come out with branches in hand and draped like old.
You see the old
clerics
the old priests, the old animalistic priests that are on the screen.
This is raw paganism.
Druids.
Well, what is that woman? Like she's wearing antlers.
Antlers on her
got
head.
Antlers.
Yeah.
And these people, these dignitaries, are sitting there in the audience watching this.
Well, that lady looks very scared. One of the ladies right there, you look in the audience, she's baffled by what she's seeing right now.
She must be the only Christian there.
And just a reminder, Merkel is there. Who else is there?
Francois Hollande from France, the Prime Minister of Italy.
The Swiss president.
Yeah, this is very pagan right now. This is like right out of the history books of paganism. Look, I'm a mature, solid Christian, but this is rattling me because I'm realizing it's coming fast. This is coming really fast. The end of days is staring us in the face, and the clock is now. This is weird because I'm talking about the end of days, and now there's a giant clock on the video screen on the stage in Switzerland, and it's clearly they're telling us something about time.
It keeps stopping at 9, 9:15, 9:10, 9:20.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? It was always somewhere around 9. And now the people are walking like zombies, and they're carrying offerings. They're lifting these offerings up to the sky, but they're walking like zombies, and now they're dropping to their knees and bowing
down before the image.
Yes, but what's on the screen is the clock, and it keeps going.
Very interesting evening. We're going to be diving into the brave new world of CRISPR. And as you see, as you saw in that film, CRISPR gives scientists the awesome power to tinker with the software of life.
For thousands of years, humans have bred horses in much the same gradual way nature does. But soon, they could actually be designed in the lab, along with other livestock, plants, and even humans. Because a new technology has made editing the genome almost as easy as using a word processor. This game-changing technology is one of the most powerful in the entire history of science, perhaps comparable to the splitting of the atom. The CRISPR revolution is already happening in research labs worldwide. For better or for worse, every life on Earth will soon be affected by our ability to reprogram the software of life.
I didn't want to let the evening go without hitting the headlines that you made yesterday when you, with your article in Science, talking about the Human Genome Project Right. You called for a huge publicly and privately funded project to construct large plant and animal genomes, including humans, from scratch.
And this was before the era of easy gene editing that we have now, but about 10 to 12% of these reproductive age people said that if there were a test that would be predictive of superior intelligence or superior athletic ability in their children, well, they would want to have it. And as we've seen, for instance, with consumer genetics, that people won't be denied in terms of the types of information that they'd like to be able to achieve. But
once it's proven to be safe for particular ways, we're going to have a conversation about what the limits are for how we would use that technology. There are still people who would, who like I said, see that as a line in the sand that we should never cross. But my belief is that we will and should cross it in some cases.
There's a shorter timeline for testing those things, but how do you regulate that? I mean, I don't think there's an answer.
You can regulate against it, but you might not be able to prevent it.
Yeah.
Kyla Roberts spent a month in a coma at OU Medical Center after she and 4 other young people were ejected in an accident.
He's told me that he loves me and he's ready for me to come home, but not quite yet. And then I woke up here.
But she does remember him.
Green eyes and scraggly hair.
And his scent.
Smells like fresh clothes out of a dryer.
I could see that. And his message.
That he is real. God is real and heaven is real.
She says Jesus has green eyes.
Yes, she does. She says he's got beautiful green eyes, and she says that he saved her.
Old in college more than 30 years ago is finally getting his diploma next week. It's something Daryl Burton truly never believed would happen, and it almost didn't.
He was 22 years old, enrolled in community college in 1984 when he was wrongfully convicted of murder. Burton was sent to the Missouri State Penitentiary for a crime he didn't commit.
It was a place that I just describe as hell on earth because it was an evil experience.
Burton says the prison was full of the sounds of men screaming in pain, being raped or assaulted. He wrote in a letter to Jesus that he'd serve him if he got out of prison. Eventually, he got the help he needed to be released and declared innocent.
I mean, I saw evil, up close and personal, and so I knew that it happened.